fucking right to the early morning. No, this ain't no love song. It's gonna be the soundtrack. Baby, you gon' fall back. That's the way we get on.
What is going on YouTube? This is Clip Series 60 here, and I am starting a new series called The Road to PC. Now, if you're thinking of building a gaming computer and you just want to walk through step by step what you need to buy and what you need to know about every single part, then you've come to the right place, because I'm about to start a series, a show, a beast, something that will revolutionize YouTube. Nah, jokes aside. Legitimately, I'm starting this series to help you guys, to tell you guys what to do, to help you, to educate you, to innovate you. So pretty much, firstly, it's really hot in Australia here. In Sydney, it's been like 40 degrees for the past 2 days, 40 degrees Celsius. So if you're in America, that translates to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. I had that open in Google, so I'm not like some kind of crazy mathematician. Anyway, first of all, in any computer, the first thing you want to start off with is a CPU. What CPU do you want to get? Now, I'm going to get some motherboard, graphics card, power supply, RAM, all in other separate videos, and they'll be uploaded. I'll try and do one every day because I'm on holidays, because I want to get this done quickly. And yeah, anyway, the first thing you want on the computer is your CPU, and it's probably the first thing you want to buy. Now, there's a few things you want to consider. Firstly, do you want to go with AMD or you want to go with Intel? Now, there's a few, both sides have advantages. I think I've got a whole video on this. I'll try up an annotation if I remember, but I've got a whole video on this. Wacky Wednesday when I used to do that. AMD versus Intel, both have advantages and disadvantages, but this is pretty much that video in a nutshell. If you want to go with AMD, you get more cores for cheaper prices. If you want to go with Intel, you get less cores. However, each core is stronger than AMD's cores. So pretty much, an Intel quad core, the cores themselves are very, very good. So you have very good single-threaded performance. Single-threaded performance means it's just using like pretty much like 1 or 2 cores. You would find single-threaded performance would be best in older games, like before like 2011, in like Word documents, stuff like that. Not to say that AMD's bad at single core performance, it's just not as good as Intel. So yeah, if you want more cores for cheaper prices, like really, really good prices, then you go for AMD. If you want to go, your fast cores, but like just not as much cores, and you get the brand name, like the brand name of Intel. You get what I mean, like the brand recognition of Intel, then go with Intel. That's just a decision that's really up to you. You do your research. It doesn't really matter who you go with, just choose one. Okay, once you've done that, you want to consider your price. Now, when you're building a computer, you have to consider price into obviously your plan. Now, I made the dumb mistake of buying my parts one after one after one after one. I bought my first part for my computer, which was a power supply, all the way back in March of this year. I finished the computer in September. So 6 months, because I don't have a job. I was mainly just YouTube money and saving up and stuff like that. So that's how I paid for my computer, and it took a while. You guys can't do that. You need to plan out, budget well, and I made the mistake of impulse buying. I was buying stuff I didn't plan on buying, and I just kept on going and going and going, blah blah blah, whatever. So just consider price. How much do you want to spend on the CPU? If you want to spend $100, then you're probably not gonna get something really, really good. You got to understand, guys, you get what you pay for. So just consider your price, and then consider what you're doing with the CPU. If you're doing video editing, like some hardcore video editing and stuff like that, you want to get a CPU that pretty much costs more money and has more cores. So if you're doing like some hardcore video editing, you want to go for like 4770K on the Intel side or higher. 4770K costs like more than 300 and something bucks, or at least it does here. But yeah, or if you want to go on the AMD side, you can get the 8350. You need to consider what you're doing with the CPU and then buy based on that. you can't cheap out on something like a CPU, because the CPU is like the brain of your computer. If you buy a bad CPU, then you bring the rest of your parts down with you. So yeah, if you're doing some video editing, go for that. If you're doing mainly just gaming, then you can get like an i5 4670K, or you can even get like an i3. Honestly, unless you're buying like a GTX Titan and then you're buying an i3, that's like the only reason I would say bottleneck. And honestly, if you're buying a Titan and you're buying an i3, then you've got some serious budget problems, because you shouldn't be doing that. You have to be equal on each of your parts. The parts should just mash well with each other, if you get what I mean. So yeah, if you're doing gaming, get like a 4670K or 4670, or even on the AMD side, you can go for cheaper. AMD, these CPUs are really good for their prices, so you can get like a FX 6300 6-core CPU. It's what, like $120, and then you can invest the money you saved on that into a much better graphics card. Keeping in mind that the FX 6300 is a hex-core CPU, but it's really good. Like, my friend has one, he loves it. It's a really good CPU. I would recommend it for its price. It's awesome. So yeah, you consider your price, what you want to do with it, and then there's a few other things like sockets. There's on Intel side, there's about 3 sockets that are probably still in fashion. There's LGA 1155, so that they pretty much support Sandy Bridge and Ivy Bridge CPUs. Sandy Bridge and Ivy Bridge, pretty much there'll be 4 letters or numbers in the name. So let's say, for example, 2500K. 2500K is a Sandy Bridge CPU. The 2 means it's 2nd generation. So Sandy Bridge is 2nd generation, okay? And then 2500K, the rest just means, what performance segment it is. And K also means unlocked, so you can overclock it. And then if you want to go 3570K, the 3 means 3rd generation. So the first number always means the generation. 3570K, or the 3rd generation of CPUs, are Ivy Bridge. They're the 2nd latest. And then 4th generation, or 4670K. And so you might have been noticing that I was using the same CPU, however I was using 1 generation up. For example, the i5 3570K is in the exact same performance segment. It's the exact same performance CPU as the previous generation i5 2500K. However, it's just moved up 1 generation. Now, with a generation leap, you see better performance, maybe about between 5 to 15%. But yeah, so the 4670K is just the 3570K, except improved on the new architecture. So they're not like, you need to get what I mean there. Like, it's just a new generation of a CPU. So yeah, carrying on. The same thing goes with AMD. I'll talk about this more in depth in the motherboard video. When you start getting into CPU sockets and stuff like that, it can get really confusing, but I'll be able to provide visual aid when I do the next video. But yeah, so pretty much CPUs, just choose one. Just comment down below what you choose, and I can help you down straight away. So yeah, pretty much, guys, that's it. All I really want you to do is get a price, think of what you're gonna do with it, and then choose a CPU. That's all. Forget about sockets and stuff for now, because all that is based on your CPU. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Next episode is motherboards.